certified organic, the best produce that you're going to get in the store, but it's certified, you know, pesticide free for 12 weeks. That's all it is. 5-digit number starting with a 9. Okay? If you see any other fruit with a 4, it's not even worth eating because you don't know what you're getting. Okay, pea shoots, different types of sprouts. So this is going to go into the juice. And Jack LaLanne, forget it. That's good for a party. You know, if you want to do margaritas or whatever. It spits it out before it even sees it. But this is a good price range. The best juicer is about $5 grand. This is probably $500-600 new, but right now if you go on Craigslist, you know, people would rather keep their Vizio than put this online. We got it for $100. Okay, so this stuff is all for the fun thing, because this is your juice and you're gonna be like, oh, I need to eat. So I had to do something. And I'm tired of spending $500 a week at Whole Foods for something that I'm missing a whole spectrum of minerals, and that's where we need to heal. So I'm going to teach everybody how to make compost. Your plants are going to be like, you'll think they're genetically modified the way they grow, and when you start ingesting them, it's the most amazing thing. I mean, you know, everybody that's sick with what they think are diseases or just ailments. 3 things when you're working with vitamins and, let's say, vegetables that are juiced: oxygen, light, and heat. So you want to respect those 3 things as much as possible. So go to the Container Store, you can spend $500. Oh, that bottle's great. But we have to stop throwing stuff into the ocean. And if everybody does it, you recycle everything, and you get so creative. Like this is a cell phone holder. Like, I'm a geek like that. If I have cabinets with glass, I'm not going to put, like, you know, a plastic container with sugar. It's going to look nice. And you can do that. I recycled all kinds of bottles, and you get so creative, and something that may be something else is now a cap. It's really cool. You don't have the dark, I mean, that's where all your minerals lie. Probably $50 here at Whole Foods. And if we get together and I show everybody how to make the most perfect nutrient-rich soils and not have to go to the foothills of the Himalayas or at some altitude where they don't even need pesticides, we can achieve the same mineral content working with the soil. It's all chemistry. You know, we can make anything. I just got back from Vegas, and the Whole Foods out there had totally different suppliers. I mean, like, their goji berries were actually so moist like raisins, and those California distributors, if they don't have such a demand to put out for Whole Foods, they're going to have a healthy soil. Because it doesn't matter if it's organic, if a farmer's trying to get so much yield out of his soil, you're going to have something that maybe, you know, might not even have any chromium or magnesium, selenium. You know, these things are, when they disappear in the body, other things don't work, and we think it's the other thing that we have to replenish because it's all superficial, but there's so many complex processes in the body that I'm going to describe. The metabolic processes, the endocrine system. I mean, this is so much information in my videos. I thought this was the most important because this is something you can watch and actually start on, and then I'll explain every single theory and everything you thought you knew about food. I love people like tomato, lycopene, and it's like, what's lycopene? You have no clue, do you? If you have a cheap juicer, use it until you get one, and you'll see the difference as you go up in stages. This actually has gears, so there's no heat at all. And heat is one of the most important things that damages our food. Okay, when we cook, we remove one of the most important elements, so now you have a toxin. So now you have a liver that's already toxic, and you just keep adding to that. So your body, that's why everybody's so tired. I mean, people, they don't even, when it's their downtime on a Sunday, they don't even have energy to do the fun things. So they sit down, Netflix, and that's it. That's their weekend. You know, you work hard all week, and all of a sudden, it's like, for what? you know, food. So one juice in the morning, 2-3 hours later, how do you feel? When you're usually going to Starbucks for that little kick, you don't even need it because it's pure energy. Now when you juice vegetables, you know it's a good juicer. First of all, no heat. But when, look, it's like dry weed. Not that sludge you get out of juicer. That's where all the nutrition is. The fun part. I know everybody's toxic because when they think it's a project to clean the juicer. Oh my god, it's so funny. So, take the emulsion apart. So, okay, now, this is the important thing to know when you juice. This is a grinder, so there's really going to be not, if there's any heat, it's not going to affect, you know, the enzyme content. Usually anything over about 118 degrees. You got to watch it too when you see these, you know, these chips, like here's a chip. A lot of times in the dehydrator they'll even kick up the heat, you know, so it's all about production to these people. And then you can do this at home and just get yourself a dehydrator, and that's absolutely no cleanup. I mean, and what you get, I mean, this is kale in another form. We can juice it, which is immediate absorption, okay? But if you want a treat, you got kale that I'll show you how to make taste like a potato chip. This is the setup here. Pretty, really neat. But it's just gears. It's a brush for every little thing. So it's kind of neat. It's like a toothbrush with 10 attachments. And I mean, the 5 minutes, well, like let's say 10 minutes cleanup that you spend for the energy that you exchange. This juice in the morning, 3 hours go by. The last thing you're thinking about is getting coffee because you are just fired up. You know, you're thinking straight, you're on point, you're innovative, you're happy, and every day you do this. I mean, we're so toxic, it took me several months before I can even, you know, feel any change because my liver was so toxic. But I didn't have the best of the best and all my principles now. So I mean, there's so much involved, you know, when you do your breathing techniques and you do your water in the morning. I mean, these things are so important and we take them for granted. Before you even get up, I mean, go on Facebook or do your thing, and when this is done, your water, not your juice, let's just say this size water, then you can have your coffee and make your juice and start your day. Not egg whites, which are acidic. I mean, a great source is sulfur and protein, but people don't understand that plant-based protein, you know, sometimes if you put the right combinations together, you can, I mean, there's no comparison.